Tonight on the CW55 News.
The coroner says it was homicide and blames a Navy SEAL instructor for the death of a Crestview man. New up-close video tonight of a deadly police shooting in Baton Rouge that's drawing shock and disbelief from around the country. Facebook helps local police solve a crime. We'll look at how technology is helping investigators catch more crooks. And a satanic temple could bring an end to prayer at Pensacola City Council meetings.
This is the CW55 News at 9, powered by the News 5 Network.
Hi everyone, I'm Peter Albrecht. Thanks for joining us tonight on the CW55. Let's get started with our top 9 stories at 9 o'clock. A 21-year-old from Crestview killed while pursuing his dream of becoming a Navy SEAL. Now, one of his Navy instructors could face criminal charges for veering from procedures and pushing James Lovelace too far during a swimming exercise. The qualification course for Navy SEALs is notoriously tough. But for 21-year-old Derek Lovelace of Crestview, it proved deadly. And the San Diego County Medical Examiner blames Lovelace's drowning on his Navy SEAL instructors. It is our opinion that the actions and inactions of the instructors were excessive and directly contributed to the death. The report says the manner of death is best classified as homicide. It happened 2 months ago during a swim drill in which Lovelace, who was not considered a strong swimmer, and other students were required to tread water in fatigues and boots with their face masks full of water. 4 security cameras recorded the drill. That video has not been publicly released, but according to the medical examiner, a SEAL instructor is seen to dunk Lovelace under the water and then follow him around the pool for approximately 5 minutes. He continually splashes Lovelace, dunks him at least one additional time. Both the report and Navy officials say the dunking is not permitted. The report continues. According to multiple witnesses, Lovelace was struggling. His face was purple. His lips were blue. He was still breathing and mumbling when pulled from the water, but lost consciousness and could not be revived. The report, which has been provided to the Naval Criminal Investigative Service, NCIS, also found that Lovelace had an enlarged heart. That may have been a contributing factor, but the cause of death was drowning and the manner of death, homicide. Now, the instructor involved has been assigned to desk duty, and he is reportedly despondent about the incident. The story everyone across the country is talking about tonight is the deadly police shooting of a man in Baton Rouge. 2 officers were involved, both white, the victim black. He had a gun but did not seem to reach for it in any way when shot point blank. The shooting caught on video, not by one person but by 2. This new video from the store owner where the shooting happened. Officers struggled with 37-year-old Alton Sterling. Then someone shouted, "He's got a gun." And then shots were fired at point-blank range. Sterling was pronounced dead at the scene. Police were called because Sterling was apparently selling CDs in a convenience store parking lot and was threatening people. Folks in Baton Rouge and around the nation are demanding action. So too are top officials in Louisiana and Baton Rouge.
I have very serious concerns. The video is disturbing, to say the least.
There is a lot that we do not understand. And at this point, like you, I am demanding answers.
Officers involved in the shooting are on administrative leave. The Justice Department has opened a civil rights investigation. The FBI and the Justice Department also investigating last month's police shooting of a teenager in Mobile. Michael Moore was shot by police officer Harold Hurst after a traffic stop. According to police, Moore was driving a stolen car and had a stolen gun when he was stopped. Police say Moore reached for that gun, and that's when Officer Hurst fired 5 times. 3 of the bullets hit Moore. A man being pursued by officers drowned in Pensacola Bay over the weekend. He was trying to give sheriff's deputies the slip all over a stolen cell phone. Escambia County Sheriff's deputies got the call about the stolen phone Saturday night. Deputies found Johnny Hall at a bar near Zaragoza and Palafox Streets. Hall handed over the phone. Then he took off running down Balin. When he reached the dead end on the street, he dove head first right into the water at the Balin Slips Marina.
He was treading water. Officer in his report says he was looking for a life preserver, something that he could hand to him or throw to him to get him back. And he said in the few moments that he turned away, he looked back around and he noticed that he had gone down underneath the water.
The sheriff says he can't release much more information than that at this point. His office is waiting for autopsy and toxicology reports. In Pensacola, one business owner is sending a big thank you to his Facebook friends after they helped him solve a crime. The CW55's Haley Minogue joins us live from his store. Haley, how did Facebook help this man?
Pete, I spent much of the day here at Emmons grocery store talking to the owner about how his Facebook post might have helped put a man behind bars. I'll give you a little chance here to look in at our conversation that we had during this time.
Right, just that, 65-cent charge, use a car now.
Mike Emmons grocery store is a family business where all day long people are in and out, in and out. It was so busy, I had to wait in line to get an interview. But at 3 a.m. on July the 4th, the store was closed when a few guys hooked a chain from their truck to the front door and pulled it off. Emmons got the call every business owner dreads. Your alarm is going off.
My dad beat me up here. He rushed out and he came up here and the cops were already here.
As they worked to repair the place and find out what was missing, Mike had the idea to snap a picture and take to social media.
When you really see the picture of that vehicle, like, wow. So that's when I went to Facebook. I said, well, you know, I'm going to put that picture of that vehicle. Somebody's got to see that vehicle somewhere.
The post took off. It was shared over 100 times and got dozens of likes and comments of support. One friend in particular who works for the city reached out to Emmons about the post.
You know, he sent me a couple text messages as soon as he saw it, and he said, hey, we got it. We're going to jump on this. And then, boom, the next day he sends me a text message that says we got him.
Mr. Emmons says in the 13 years the store's been here, there's never been any kind of theft. But cameras like this one right here are totally worth it, even if you just need it that one time.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. You have to have them.
But one man visiting the store says he prefers social media to stay away from crime-related things.
Whatever it takes in the long run. I mean, if you got him off the street, who cares if it was a newspaper ad, Facebook, or if you had to chase him down? He's off the street nonetheless, but personally, I think that Facebook should be what it's for, social media.
Since the post, the door has been fixed, obviously, and Mr. Emmons tells me business hasn't really taken a dip at all. Reporting in Pensacola, I'm Haley Minogue, the CW55 News at 9.
All right, thanks, Haley. And Jesse Halen is in the Escambia County Jail tonight, charged with burglary and property damage for stealing from Emmons convenience store. Bond has been set at more than $60,000. The Pensacola Police Department is still looking for a man wanted for an armed home invasion. Take a look at Renopolis Taylor. He's known as Tay on the streets. Police say that last Friday morning, Taylor and another man forced their way into a home on North 9th Avenue and pulled a gun on the man inside the home. Now, Taylor is the same person that prompted police, deputies, and SWAT personnel to close off Langley Avenue Friday evening. They thought he had barricaded himself inside a home there. If you have seen Renopolis Taylor, please call the Pensacola Police Department. Authorities are also tracking down a number of car thieves and burglars. Vehicle thefts and break-ins are on the rise in Escambia County. With more on that, the CW55's Catrice Nolan.
Take a good look at this. It's surveillance footage of an attempted robbery in progress in Escambia County. Now, according to the Escambia Sheriff's Department Facebook page, this man is pulling at car door handles but had no luck simply because the doors were locked. But not everyone takes the time to press that one button.
If they really want it, they can bust the windows. And they can get in. You ain't stopping them by one of those locks.
It's a small thing that people don't do daily, and the numbers show it. According to AAA, nearly half of vehicle thefts are because of driver error. Out of the top 10 states that experience vehicle theft, Florida ranks third on the list. And every 46 seconds, a car is stolen in the U.S.
We have videos actually from the neighborhoods and also some businesses where, you know, they call it swarming. The young kids will get out together, and it tends to be a juvenile issue, by the way. Much more so than anything else. And they actually walk through your neighborhood and they're lifting car door handles and they're looking for the car that's unlocked.
But some people say just a couple of extra seconds is key.
It's very important that you lock your car once you get out of it because you don't want to come back and somebody got all your items out of there.
All it takes is one time. And someone takes your car like they did mine in Atlanta, you lock your car every time.
Now, Sheriff Morgan says we all get busy with running errands and moving quickly, and we tend to leave valuable items in the car. But he says don't ever do that. Just grab it quickly and take care of your errands. Reporting in Pensacola, Catrice Nolan, the CW55 News at 9.
The devil may make them do it. The city of Pensacola could get rid of prayer before council meetings. Pensacola City Council meetings usually start like this, with an invocation by a clergy member who has signed up to do so. But next week, a representative of the Satanic Temple of West Florida is scheduled to give that invocation at the City Council meeting. He may never get that chance, because tomorrow night the City Council will hold an emergency meeting and may decide to do away with invocations and replace them with a moment of silence. Opinions around town are mixed about an invocation offered by someone from the Satanic Temple.
That's the thing. I don't think freedom of religion is freedom of Christianity or freedom of just Muslim. If you're open to the choice of freedom of religion, to me, you need to be open to everybody's choice of whatever their religion is.
You have to question their motives. I mean, maybe, are they doing it just to spite the religious organizations that normally do the invocation or whatever that is? I would wonder what their motives are.
Tomorrow night, specially called council meeting begins at 5:30 at City Hall. Your first half division winning Pensacola Wahoo struggling so far in the second half of the Southern League season. Pensacola lost its first two games of their series in Mobile, taking on the Bay Bears again tonight. Jackson Stevens with a strikeout there, but he struggled early as the Bay Bears jumped out to a 3-0 lead. Pensacola gets one back, though. Here in the third, a double by Brandon Dixon scores a run. Then in the fourth, Eric Jaglio with a solo home run. It's his fifth of the year, and that ties the game 3-3, and that's where they stand right now in the sixth inning. Hey, did you see this great play by former Wahoo Billy Hamilton yesterday? Cincinnati against the Cubs at Wrigley, a pass ball, and Hamilton will try to score from second, and it's not even close. Hamilton with that great speed he showed in 2012 when he set the all-time minor league single-season stolen base record while playing for the Wahoos. That looks like Alan Seals type speed right there.
Yeah, about 35 years ago. Right. Our weather, of course, it makes you want to run into the house to get your air conditioning, get that cool feel around you. Yes? Okay. Well, the rain is pretty much gone for now. There's the radar. We've been okay in terms of rainfall, and a couple of people today said to me, there must be a bubble where I live. It didn't rain. Well, we're just in a weather pattern where everything is very consistent and persistent, just like our current temperatures from 86 in Destin to 81 in Gulf Shores and Milton at 79. Now watch tomorrow's forecast map. Just like the last several days, 6 o'clock in the morning, partly cloudy, could be an isolated shower. Once the earth heats up a little bit, we'll get those scattered showers developing, and they'll peak pretty much in the middle of the day, covering 20% of the area at most. In the afternoon, just like today, the wet weather fades away, leading us into a quiet evening. So it's just a persistent pattern, and sooner or later it's going to change, but really not sooner. Look for temperatures to top 90 degrees by lunchtime. We've got heat, we've got humidity, and I've got more in a few minutes.
Coming up, U.S. troops will stay put in Afghanistan for a while longer. The story next on the CW55 News at 9. Plus, surveillance video captures a terrifying sight. A man takes off with a 4-year-old girl. The story is next. Welcome back. Now, news that matters to the military tonight. There's a change in plans for U.S. troops in Afghanistan. President Obama says he is delaying a troop drawdown in the country because the situation there is still uncertain.
Instead of going down to 5,500 troops by the end of this year, the United States will maintain approximately 8,400 troops in Afghanistan into next year through the end of my administration.
Experts say the president may be backing away from his original promise to end the U.S. commitment in Afghanistan before he leaves office because of what has happened in Iraq. Once U.S. troops were pulled out there, things fell apart and ISIS moved in. Obama says leaving U.S. troops in Afghanistan leaves a solid foundation for the next commander-in-chief. Marco Rubio will skip the Republican coronation of Donald Trump later this month. The Florida senator says he'll stay in the state and campaign for his Senate re-election rather than going to Cleveland for the Republican convention. Of course, he frequently clashed with Trump during the primaries. Much of it was pretty nasty and personal. Rubio has since reluctantly endorsed Trump for president. Some terrifying video out of California tonight of an attempted kidnapping. Take a look at the security video. as a young woman walks into a store carrying an infant. Her 4-year-old is nearby playing with a candy machine. A man followed and grabbed the little girl by the arm, pulling her from the store. The mother and another customer run after him. The little girl was able to get away from the man. Witnesses say people nearby tackled him and held him until the police showed up. The man was arrested on kidnapping and cruelty charges. The little girl was not physically hurt in the incident. A huge, unusual, and some say controversial tourist attraction opens to the public tomorrow in Kentucky. The Ark Encounter is a religious theme park modeled on the biblical story of Noah. The story comes to life on 4 floors, showing the daily workings of a huge boat loaded with animals, including dinosaurs. The Ark itself is an interesting design. It's the largest timber frame project in the world, 7 stories tall, almost 2 football fields long. The dimensions come straight from the book of Genesis. $18 million of funding for the Ark came in the form of state tax incentives allowed by a federal court ruling. The exhibit hopes to draw 2 million visitors in its first year. It's located in Williamstown, Kentucky. That's about halfway between Lexington and Cincinnati.
Now, Chief Meteorologist Alan Seals.
Summer heat doesn't stop everybody. A little cloud cover helps. That's the Roger Scott Tennis Center. Back and forth, back and forth. Notice the trees not moving. It was a very calm afternoon after a morning that produced some scattered thunderstorms. And then our temperatures went back to typical levels. You want heat? Head to Texas. You want real heat? Head to southern Arizona. These are current temperatures. Phoenix is at 104 degrees, and even as far north as Minneapolis, 80 degrees. Now, this time of year, you may not think much about it, but the active weather shifts to the north. So you look at the latest radar, you see strong thunderstorms in the Dakotas, also scattered thunderstorms from the Appalachians through the Tennessee Valley. In fact, at this point, South Dakota, what you see in blue into Nebraska, that's a severe thunderstorm watch. In the pink, that's a tornado watch. A flash flood watch in western Kentucky. So there is active weather around the country. In yellow, severe thunderstorm warnings. In red, and south central Nebraska, a tornado warning. So we don't want any of that. What we are dealing with is high humidity and high temperature, even though we have no advisories or watches or warnings for our area. Just to the west, though, heat advisories from Louisiana into the southern plains. Here's what we do have. 83 degrees at Pensacola's airport. The heat index, what it feels like, basically 91. There's that south wind at 5 miles an hour. The dew point is in the mid-70s. None of this is going to change anytime soon, and that means we'll have a very similar weather pattern for the next couple of days. 79 degrees. That's your kickoff temperature at 7 a.m. as you step outside. The humidity will give you a hug, and then the temperature will beat you down in the afternoon. We're getting above 90, 20% at most rain coverage, and that's going to be mainly in the heat of the day. Quiet early in the morning. Could be a water spout just offshore, but by the middle of the afternoon, pop-up thunderstorms that will fade away tomorrow evening. We've seen this exact same pattern for basically the last 4 days. At the beaches, you'll get a brief period of thunderstorms, a south wind, and the temperature in the upper 80s. There is a moderate risk of a rip current. Be careful. Check those beach flags to see what's going on. Travel temperatures anywhere in the region tomorrow, 90s, no matter where you go. But notice how little rain there's actually going to be, especially if you're heading toward Tallahassee or Apalachicola. To the west, though, you're more likely to hit some scattered showers in southeastern Louisiana. And the forecast for Friday doesn't change a whole lot. Now, watch Friday to Saturday. Here comes the change. The moisture builds just enough so that by Saturday afternoon, we'll see more in the way of thunderstorms and rain. Not a washout, but just a little bit more than what we have seen. Mid and upper 70s tonight. Middle 90s tomorrow, unless you're at the beaches. It'll be low 90s there. Rain coverage 20% or less for the next couple of days. Note the temperatures well above average in the mid 90s and the mid 70s at night. Either way, we are warmer than average. And into the weekend, rain coverage goes up. Temperatures change 1 degree.
Thanks, Alan. BP oil spill settlement money is being used to build the new Gulf State Park Lodge in Gulf Shores, and a judge says that's okay. Construction on the new lodge is already underway. This aerial video gives you an idea of the progress so far. The former Alabama State Parks Commissioner filed the lawsuit. He wanted a restraining order because he said it was illegal to use state funds to build the 350-room lodge. But a Montgomery judge says the plan doesn't involve taxpayer money, so there is no merit to the lawsuit. Also in Baldwin County, an investigation on Fish River tonight where dead goats have been washing up on the banks. Homeowners who live near Fish River and Polecat Creek say they've seen at least 7 dead goats floating in the river since the weekend. The decomposing animals smell horrible and are almost unrecognizable. Waterfront property owners are concerned that they are a potential health hazard. One boater we talked with who saw the goats up close says he thinks the animals were shot.
Somebody's been shooting goats with a .22 because I checked the wound. It was the size of a pencil hole. I think it takes a sorry individual to shoot a little old helpless goat, and all they're doing is out here cleaning off the river, you know, keeping the brush down.
There is a local landowner nearby who is known to keep goats near the river to clear brush on his property. Heading farther west to Mississippi, a man there has been recently diagnosed with Vibrio vulnificus. That's a flesh-eating bacteria. There have been at least 3 other cases reported in Texas in the last few months. Vibrio can cause serious stomach aches if you eat something with the bacteria, typically oysters, but it can also break down skin, often leading to amputation or even death. Health officials say Vibrio is common along the Gulf Coast in warm, brackish water. They say don't panic. Just be careful if you have an open wound or a compromised immune system.
There's not any more reason to be afraid of activities of daily living. Today, they have been reporting this disease since 2007, and we don't have a threat in Mobile County at this time.
And there have been no cases of Vibrio this year reported in Florida. Coming up, hoverboards are hot, too hot. They can catch fire. That's prompted a massive recall. The details next on the CW55 News at 9. If you have a hoverboard, listen to this. 10 companies are recalling more than 500,000 hoverboards. Safety experts say the batteries inside can lead to dangerous fires. Remember this video from last November? Timothy Cade posted it from Gulf Shores. He said he had his hoverboard scooter for just 3 days, and after a short ride, it exploded right under his feet. Parts of the board ended up shooting across the yard near his house. Now, this is just one of many hoverboard fires that sparked the recall. The U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission has received dozens of reports of batteries inside the hoverboards catching fire or exploding. The CPSC says all of the recalled hoverboards were made with fundamental design flaws.
Check and demand to have proof of UL certification, especially if it's not on the recall list. If they cannot provide proof, demand a refund.
To our website to get a list of the complete recall information. All right. You mentioned those upper 70s at night. That's where we just don't get a break, do we, Al?
We don't get a break, and I had a good question from a viewer who said, what is the warmest night that we've had in any year?
Oh,
and it turns
great
out
question.
it's about 82, 83 degrees. So even though it's warmer than you want, it's not record warmth for the night. So look what we get for tonight. 77 if you're along I-10, 79 if you're at the beaches, and in the next several days, not a lot of change in the temperature. Each afternoon, somebody's going to get wet.
They sure are. Access Hollywood is coming up next. Thanks for watching the CW55 News at 9. We'll see you tomorrow night.
Toodaloo.